iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
Man, yeah, being on MJ for about a year, it's been pretty fantastic. I mean, it's weird. It's like living out my childhood dream and also my adult dream. It's like just like living my dreams, playing this role and continuing the legacy of Michael. It's been pretty insane. It feels amazing. The job is hard. It's Broadway. It's like my legs feel like they're gonna fall off all the time. But like I'm enjoying it. I think the most rewarding thing is just our audiences. They really just resonate with the story, with the music. And it's just a great experience. I've seen people bring their kids to kind of like introduce them to Michael and that world of his music, and then like later like yeah, my kid like is just obsessed with Michael, just looking at their videos and Jackson 5 and researching the history, and like it's just been really amazing. So it's been one of my favorite projects I've ever been a part of, and it means so much more than just a regular gig. It's it's so in the bones for me, and how I got started. It's really full circle. Yeah, it's fantastic, really. 2 million tickets sold worldwide. I'm just grateful to be a part of something that it touches so many people and resonates with so many audiences around the world now, which is crazy. I think our show is a very it's a great show. It's a tough show to be in. It's a feat to put up, and I'm just really proud of the production team and everybody top to bottom who has been able and been a part of the process to make this show not only thrive here on Broadway, but in the UK on our tour when it opens in Germany and when it opens in Australia. It's just really just it's a labor of love, and it's a lot of moving pieces, but it's really just amazing, really honored to be a part of it. It feels like a boring answer to this question, but like the question is like, what's my favorite part of the show? Like, it's Beat It. It's Beat It's how we start our show. It's the first thing that people see of me, and I really like it because everyone comes to the show and they're like, great, this is Michael Jackson, I love him. What's this kid gonna do? Is he good? Like, is the Michael good? Is that like and that kind of are feeling me out a bit. I can always tell like from the applause I first get when I walk out, like, okay, this audience is a bit colder, they're a bit warmer, so like I can kind of gauge on what to give them. And by the end of that number, people are usually like, okay, good, he's good. So what's the story about? Like, they feel like in safe hands to kind of experience this. And it's just my favorite. I just love it. It's really nice headspace to get into for that feat of a show. Michael's the reason why I started performing. So to be playing him feels insane. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's like, I think everybody at some point, like, wanted to like do the moves like Michael Jackson when they were younger. It's like not a lot of people get a chance to actually like portray him in like the official capacity on Broadway. It feels I mean, I'm just like honored to do it. It's like really grateful. It feels strange sometimes because like people at least when you're doing the show in the moment feel like you are actually him, and so it's like it's like a bit of a thing to carry, like make sure I'm doing him justice and portraying the legacy and in the right way, but also like I just try to enjoy it and be present in the moment. I think a lot of people after the show say like, thank you for doing the show, we're such big fans of Michael, and I always tell them back, thank you, I'm a big fan too of him. I think we're all just experiencing his music in a different way, so it's an honor, but it's a lot sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite things about the show, is like particularly being in my role, is because I do the voice, and when I'm on stage, I'm very into it. I'm very like tapped in, and then as soon as I walk off stage, I sound like this, and I'm just talking to my friends, and I think it's a very funny thing to think about, and a lot of these Broadway shows is that it's so demanding, and it's so much of the same schedule, and it's demanding is the best word to say it. I think we really bond over that and really like help each other get through. Sometimes I'm really tired. Sometimes I'm like, I wake up and I don't want to be Michael Jackson today. Sometimes I just want to just be Elijah and hang out in my house and watch Netflix. But knowing that like I have all these supportive people who are basically like family waiting at that theater to do this show and to help me through really makes all the difference. And so I think there's so many moments that we have that were just really special and that I will always carry with me. The cool and oh yeah, I'm an actor answer is like I meditate for like maybe 5 minutes before every show, but like the real one's like I just have to eat, because like if I do the show and don't eat before, it's not gonna be that great of a show. It's more like a little lightheaded Michael. But yeah, just making sure like I'm like fully nourished and all that is like really important because it's we burn a lot of calories in the show, a lot of dancing. You know what? It's whatever it is. It's always kind of like with a protein shake. That just really helps just round everything out. So it could be, whether I cook stuff from home or I order something to the theater, but whatever it is, it's always gonna be with a protein shake on the side of it, just to really help round me out, make sure it's all good. I mean, that's interesting. I think the way my viewing of Michael's impact on music has changed since joining the show is, I think, just truly understanding how famous he was. Like, I think, I was born post-Thriller, post like a lot of things of Michael, and so like I understood, obviously, like, it was Michael Jackson. Like, even when he was alive and I was younger, I can understand to a certain degree, but talking to people who were around when Thriller like came out and how huge that album was, I've gotten a very clear perspective, like, oh, it was like monstrous. It was like an insane global impact that album had and that he had, and afterwards how it left its mark on music. I think like that, plus like just thinking about the moonwalk and how he really like popularized that as a dance move, and that's something to still to this day, like little kids are like, oh, I'm doing the moonwalk, and I'm like, you're like 5, how do you know what the moonwalk is? Like, it's that that impact is insane, and so that I think really is a good way to show it. I mean, it's the crowds really help. They really, on those days when I'm really tired and I'm like, my legs are really sore and I feel like I have like boulders like attached to them. Just remembering those people out there who won an amazing show, and that they've, sometimes I think about, it's my job and we come there every day, we do this. You sometimes forget that like people like waited months to come see you and to see this thing, and it's the highlight of some people's trips, so they come to New York. It's like, it helps, keeps things in perspective when sometimes it gets, the Broadway schedule gets to be a lot. But also too, just like also on the other side, making sure that like I'm taking care of my body. Right? If I burn myself out, I can't do the show, and then that really helps no one, right? So like making sure that like if I need to take a day, I take a day, and like it sucks, but like making sure that my body is okay is super important. That and the mental, it's like really, it's a balance. You got to make sure you're good enough to do the job, because if not, you can't do the job, and that helps no one. Michael had, I think he had that to a degree that was unlike you usually see, I think, and so I think that part of that, at least maybe like an ounce of that, is within me, and I think that part helps me be able to play him every night. So I think I relate to him, especially in the psyche of like what it means to be an entertainer. I think I get that a little bit. Do I resonate with Michael being a perfectionist? I think so. I think being an artist, you want to strive for a certain type of perfection. I think there are good and bad sides to that. I think I try to keep it balanced. I think I want to do the best job I can, and to do the job and do everything correctly. And I think if I make a mistake, I try to have as much compassion as I can towards myself, because I know that is just a safer route mentally to keep on doing this and keep on to be able to do more things and strive for a more perfect type of performance. But I try to keep a balance of it. Not, one is, try to keep a balance for both. In my opinion, what makes MJ the musical stand out is the music. I think it's really hard to beat. It's Michael Jackson. When you think of good music, his name comes up a lot. I think I think it gets people in the door, and I think the choreography, the acting, the story, the artistry of the characters we portray, and the cast, I think that's what gets people like really like, wow, the show is amazing. I think the music gets you in the door because you know the music and you know it's gonna be good, but then the show itself is really fantastic, and it really blows people away, I think there's like a lot of advice, like stay dedicated, like work on your craft, do all that. But I think the most important one, especially to younger people, is like really, really have a clear indication or be very clear if you want to do this, be in entertainment, be an actor, be a singer, whatever it is, to follow that as your career path, because it's really hard. It just is. There's a lot of us doing it. It's a lot of sacrifice, it's a lot of late nights, a lot of no's. It only takes one yes to change everything, but it's a lot of no's to get there. It's really clear to know that this is what you want to eat and breathe and live, because if not, it is very hard to do. But it's amazing also, too. In my spare time, I go to sleep. No, but like I hang out with my girlfriend. I watch TV, go to the movies, eat a lot of restaurants in New York. I love living here, go take walks and stuff. I have a lot of, our days are full. They're kind of free to do whatever, so I do a lot of that. But a lot of time sleep, a lot of time in my bed. I'm in bed a lot, just kind of letting the legs rest. It's really about the legs, guys. Really, the legs are the thing about my life that it kind of gets in the way of things right now. That's it. Yes, so we are celebrating 2 million tickets sold from MJ Productions around the world. So to do that, we are doing this sweepstakes, which is really cool. You can enter on the MJ website to win a pair of tickets to one of the shows across the world, either the Broadway, the UK, the national tour, or in Germany, in Hamburg, which is very, very exciting. Yeah, it's like a really fun thing we're doing for fans. We're covering hotel accommodations, flights, and a meet and greet with the cast. It's gonna be really fun. Really just a way to celebrate 2 million, and also just to celebrate our fans who are the lifeblood of the show, that keep us going, keep us energized, and it's gonna be really, really fun. And yeah, it's really awesome.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.